Well, guys,
We make this this party no theme music or not. We can freaking throw it on you know. Nice hat.
Thank you. I'm going hat today. I've had
I
a bad
like
hair day. This is really nice.
You know what? It brings back the. Do you remember the Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie vibes? Whenever it was that's the vibes.
Really? Thanks, Tyler.
Well, hey, simple life.
Well, we know we got OG Tyler in the studio today, making things lively.
I'm here.
I'm sorry about our little introduction song not working out.
We don't need that.
We don't need it. Okay. So, I'd like to start with Happy Sunday. And sorry we're running a little bit late today. 7:10 is our goal. We will get there.
One day.
One day. Hello, OG Tyler. Tell me a little bit about. Did you have a nice weekend?
Yeah, just doing the thing, and just trying to smoke as many dabs as possible, and QC as much hash as I can. Why am I in the Amazon or in the? Oh no, I'm in the bottom of a.
Yeah, we need to work on that too.
A weed barrel.
That's a plant. That's a succulent.
I'm in the back of it. I'm in the bottom of it. Anyway, yeah, no, I mean, just really just trying to grind and stay on top of what current affairs are going on.
Yeah.
I
feel like it was cool. OG Tyler and I were just having a conversation just kind of on where the industry's at in Colorado. I'm sure it's everywhere. Like, we feel the effects. We know our scene here. We see a little bit about the other sides, but I feel like it's probably everywhere. The economy, I feel like, is going through some rough stuff. But I think we just got to hang in there. I think it's going to bring back the demand for quality. I really do, with the price points. And we were just talking about how there's a large plethora of product on our shelves that the quality is just not the same that it used to be.
Well, yeah, and who really knows if it was ever good? You know what I mean? Like, really, I don't know anymore. Like, was weed ever good? Who knows?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. There's a giant opening in the market for quality, like flower, or, if one... It'd be interesting to see if, what a major player in the cannabis game could come to Colorado and then actually start something from scratch, like building whole thing.
Yes.
It'd be interesting to see what could happen, but I think that the margins are so low now with what people are
willing to pay.
Yeah, I mean, no consumer I know of is going to pay $60 or $70 an eighth, at the dispensary. So
I think that's the dilemma that we're running into, though. I'm glad that you brought that up, because I think when you have the dispensaries, a lot of people think that it's black and white, like you're just paying, half the price that the wholesaler gave to them. But that's not really it. Is the dispensaries, for the most part, tend to make the most money as the market fluctuates, and they're the guys that are trying to get everybody lower at the end of the day per pound, and they don't change their shelf price, though. It's like the lower they go, they're still selling their eighths for $35 an eighth or something like that, roughly. But I think that it sucks because the growers themselves are losing, and same with extractors and everybody are losing the motivation, because the cost to just your overhead of operating even a small facility in Colorado is too much for the margins that cannabis is actually pulling. And the more you try to put value into your cure times, your flush times, all these other things, they can't afford, like you said, nobody's willing to pay the actual price that the product would demand at that point. it's kind of, and then they lose the drive to even want to produce good stuff because they're like, I'm competing with $400 pounds or
So here's my question.
yeah.
And I've been
I
asking,
love it.
and I've been asking, and there are some folks now we see here. We got some folks.
We got some friends.
We got folks
Dirty
in here.
Grower, thank you.
Here's a question: would Colorado do well with delivery services?
I love that you say that. I think delivery services would almost be like the next best evolution, but I think for all these guys that have invested though into dispensaries and paid the millions of dollars and all this stuff, I feel like it would kill me if I was one of those people that actually was in that part to like let a wholesaler be able to have that opportunity without cutting you out or with
What if
cutting.
it had to go through you had like I work for 710, so then like we wholesaled product to the center that's right down the street.
Yeah.
Dagum, then the center's like, hey, we're gonna set up a delivery service through our collective that is like, hey, we're gonna do from 10 to 10 every night or whatever every day we're gonna do.
And then they get like a percentage off of that sale between the wholesale, or so they work out an arrangement for both of them.
No, really, it's just like, hey, we're gonna wholesale. Like, it really changes nothing for the wholesaler because I don't know if there could be something that would allow, like that type. I mean, it'd be cool to do that.
It would be
It'd be dope because I think we have something similar to that in California for 710 Labs, where it's like the list, and then like you. Kind of put your order in or whatever, and then it comes to you, and it's like this whole thing, right? Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to see, and also like
that.
Would Colorado pay the prices for delivery fees and like all these things, or would they just go cheap like how they are now and say, no, we just want $100 ounce, and I'm going to go pick it up for the dispo because I was doing that for 10, 15 years anyway. And
Live Well is the cheap, or whoever the company is the cheapest, and that's what I read. But I think that you're right, though, as far as people being able to, like, actually choose their growers, too. It's like, when I was at Dank by Pank, for instance, this is silly, but Dank by Pank, they're just a wholesaler. They don't have a dispensary. And, like, we could sell our product at Eclipse or something, but that still limits you quite a bit, actually, to a small little network of people versus it would be cool if people were like, Jay, I want to smoke this flower, or hypothetically, from anybody, and they could, like, seek after their actual, breeders or growers themselves. And those people actually make the money. It would be incredible. And I think the dispensaries, I think would take a hit as far as like losing their connoisseur kind of like consumer, I feel like, or maybe those numbers would slow down if they could actually, independently purchase from anywhere. But I still think that they would still sustain business with just, tourism or whoever.
100%. And it's nuts too, because like you're saying, like there's a couple people I'll follow in California that have, where you could go to the website and then like pick, shop basically. And so it's so cool, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel we're missing something.
We're missing it.
We're missing something. We're missing like, and this is not to say that like, okay, well, when you go to Michigan probably or California or any of these places that have really fire weed, there's probably, out of the whole state, there's probably only very few percentage that actually have really good product.
Same thing where the margins are so low compared to the mass majority.
Yeah, I mean it's just there's not really good product out.
No, and I think that
no matter what.
It's weird that you say that too, because I think that when everybody looks at like state by state too, it's like some people will be like, Colorado's weed is always dry and like fucked, and then you go to like, honestly, Hawaii was like really moist. Like you could take the driest weed from here and it was just like too wet immediately there. And like when we look at different climates, even amongst like
it got really wet there.
It was super wet, like too wet, and
wow.
like, and it's just like when you're looking at these obstacles though that everybody's kind of running into, and like, I think just amongst across the board, I think when you have a commercial facility where so many people's hands are involved with the process, and like compared to back in the day when you had these small facilities that had one head grower that had to do 15 different jobs, is like, it's weird, but I think the quality was more sustained because they literally were in charge of everything and that was their pride and joy. And it was like so much attention to detail. Versus like now, it's like you got 15 people working in a veg room that all grow plants at their house, that all come in, or like cure rooms or temp trim teams. Like that's one thing that I've seen change in the last 5 years too, where nobody, if you hand trim your weed, it's great. It's something that's rare now, and it's awesome to see. But these guys are hiring temp crews because they can't afford, to have trimmer, or their harvests aren't big enough in between cycles, whatever. That I think you're relying on these crews to come in and say they have two really good trimmers that like really show your weed off great and like bring out the best in it. And then mass majority of their team though is like shaving the shit or like whatever, where it gets too dry too fast.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm lighting this joint for you.
You're gonna do
blunt.
it?
Yeah, don't spark that blunt.
OG Tyler rolled me a joint today. He's trying to get me off that VZ train.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you. Yeah.
We got those elements in the house.
If she smokes joints that are proper and the whole nine, then you're going to want to smoke more of them.
You're right. I'm not going to deny that.
I promise. It's a whole process.
OG Tyler does roll some good joints.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I could put work in, but it takes me a minute, and I probably sweat, and I probably have to go through like at least like 1 or 2 papers. Like,
real quick on the delivery thing too.
Tell me,
because I just think it's so cool that you thought about this today. It's like I was looking at the delivery service because Colorado, says that you can do it, but this is the weird part: is nobody's doing it here because they've made it almost impossible to like actually be able to financially really do it. It's like the cars that are required and like how it has to be modified and to where the driver can't access the product and all these things. Like ideally you could go get a Sprinter van or something like that and cage it off or whatever, but they do require these cages for the products. You can't just go take your personal car. And then the application process and how it has to be tied to these licenses, the fees don't seem that hefty compared to every other license fee here, but it seems like you almost have to be grandfathered in. You have to be a huge company already that already has kind of the financial capabilities of like, or say 12 locations or something, where jurisdiction wise, county per county is where they're messing this up. Is some counties are allowed to do it, some counties are not. And I don't know, I feel like Colorado is kind of almost putting like it's like a little dangle of like a, little...
I don't like the dangle.
Nobody likes to dangle.
Dude, it's crazy. It sucks, dude. Like, the whole thing sucks. Like, they're just like, they're making it really, really hard,
Yeah.
But do you even think that people would buy...
The delivery?
Yeah, or like buy pricey weed from a delivery service?
I mean, it's hard because my whole pursuit of Treat, and this is ridiculous, but the whole concept came from having this high-end dispensary and having this high-end stuff that like I was going to charge way more than everybody else and it was going to be so bougie and all this stuff. But like the thing is it's hard now to really answer that because people have proven that they love to have it cheap. They would rather smoke shitty stuff compared to like the higher quality to save the money. And it maybe there's like 10% of like the market that I really see that is willing to do that. I will say that like I love buying 710s weed and some of these other companies that charge a little bit more than.
Do you have that other lighter?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
This lighter hurts.
I'm really sorry. Is this one? This one might be worse. Should I give you another one?
Great.
Okay.
Do you have a big lighter?
I know. All my bics are gone.
Where's your Bics
Wait. I have a bic. I'm sorry. I have a bic.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. It was in my pocket.
Killing me. And it has a sweet little attachment on it.
So you can find it. Sorry.
That's it. I'm over here.
But I feel like I personally, yes. Like if I see a strain, like if I see a particular strain that I really, really like, no matter the brand or company, I've always like raced on it when I'm like, oh, they got kosher on the shelf or they got whatever. But I think it's like within reason too, is I smoke a lot of cannabis. Like I will say it's hard for me to maintain like smoking the highest quality and smoke it like at these price points if you're realistically buying it out of pocket.
Right.
Like I can't be smoking a pound a month, you know, and like paying whatever. But it's like I think that's where the whole thing of like treating yourself, I think there's a weird balance. Is I think it's nice to treat yourself to some weed that you want to share with everybody, but at the same time you keep your little eighth stash for yourself. And like stuff that really gets you excited again. I think you should value and we should bring up the market together and be willing to pay for those little splurges. But I think that it also can't be like I think where you see these guys charging $1,000, say on the extreme end, for an ounce of weed though, is I don't think that's practical either. Is like I think back in the day we used to pay $400 to $600 for good weed even in Colorado for an ounce.
Right.
And like I think that's more realistic. Like if you're getting up to $70, $80, $90 an eighth, $100 an eighth, like yes, I'd be willing to pay that for the right product. But like I think you got to almost have like a little balance to both though. You want people to really smoke it and be able to smoke it. And I don't know if everybody can afford that.
No, there needs to be a balance. But good product needs to be, who we got up in here?
Oh, we got Mike Denver, Dirty the Grower. You guys are the best. Mike Denver, you guys just...
He said a pound a month.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
This girl rolls like...
Wish I was lying.
Like 4 gram backwoods.
I love the cannabis.
I'm trying to convert her to papers though.
Everybody tries to get me to smoke hash all the time instead of weed. They're like, or backwoods or whatever my problem is with smoking. And it's so funny because I'm like, I'm just a flower girl. Deep down at the end of the day, I love me some good hash. I do, but I love flower. I never was a joint. It's weird because my name is Jay and I could never get my J's down. And I don't know what it is, but I've never been a natural, joint roller.
It's practice. I'm over there. This is a process of getting this to burn right.
And it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
I already am so excited.
It's just so here's the thing too. Don't ash it.
Okay.
Try to let the ash just do its thing.
A little stack.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I think that these are things that need to be addressed in the industry amongst the community.
See if it.
Dang.
Is it going though?
It's going.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go.
This is beautiful.
All right, there
Thank you, OG Tyler.
There you go.
This is very nice. But I think that these are things that we need to work together as a community on supporting when we see the more bougie quality stuff at a good price point. Instead of bashing on it.
Yep.
Get up there.
Supporting the people who have quality product.
Yes.
That's the thing.
And I think a lot of these guys come in, a lot of people claim, just like we all roll our eyes out, a lot of people are like, this is the best stuff you'll ever smoke, and this is this, and it's not trying to discount anybody, too. I think keep on keeping on. But, I think the people, like you're saying, that really stand out, though.
And the people that really stand out, too, have... God, did that joint go out already? Don't play with me.
I feel like it's me, not it.
It's it.
We're back in business.
We're back.
Thank you.
Let me make sure that it's going.
Do you want to try some?
No, hit it. Nah.
Oh, we're good. I feel like the spark there.
We're kind of good.
Do you see it?
They're going to go amateur hour. Let me see that joint. They're going to go amateur hour on it. They can say, this guy freaking can't roll a joint to save his life.
Whatever. That's so funny. But I don't know. I also think that this is a good time to weed out a lot of shit growers, though. It's weird, but all these guys that did come in hot and saturate it with their crappy mids pounds and we're yeah, I'll sell them for $200 a pound and I got 50 and all this other stuff is I feel like it'll be really good though to see those guys go though. If this is the way we have to do it, I feel like it might take time, it might be rough for the next year or two, but I'm in if it cleans up the house a little bit.
I don't know. I think now most of the people that are here are trying to get out of here.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know, like what? Like Green Dot's expanding to Arizona. You know what I mean? And
They're going to Arizona.
oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. So at that point, like, dude, like people are trying to like go see what the market's like somewhere else. You know?
I mean, it's tempting. Like some days I like really have a rough go of it in this industry. Some days I'm even like, shit. Like I get these opportunities in other states. People want to pay you better. People like seem to respect you a little bit more. And then in Colorado, it's weird because you have both sides where everybody that's worked together at this point has worked together for a long time, and you either like each other or you don't. And it's like a lot of people go out their ways to like sink each other here. And now you end up with like a pretty rough market because everybody like, I think like doesn't really support each other the way that, or it has like burned bridges along the way, or like these weird, just like weird dynamics. And then most of these guys that own the dispensaries don't give a shit about weed and like have no background in it, have no.
I look like I have no background right now. This sucks. This sucks.
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it could be the flower. Could be.
No.
It could be something.
Like what in God's name?
I'm so sorry.
Nah, I mean.
I just think, I think everybody gets down though. That's the thing that is making me sad lately though. Is like seeing all these people leave and pursuing these other states, but then it feels like Colorado's just been used and abused. Like a bad date is what I feel like. Everybody came here, flooded the state, dropped our price point on like weed prices, freaking employee prices, all of the things. And then they're like, oh, I just needed my experience so I could go back to my state when it legalizes. And it's like, dude, that's fucked up. Like how anybody justifies like how that was cool. And we were, we were trying to help, trying to get out there. And now it's like, where's our support group? Oh, that's right. They all went back to where they were from.
They go.
They gone. And they gave everybody that like owns these places, their secret recipes that are not their secret recipes. They're from other people, and I hate to say this, but it's a lot of stolen information that then they try to implement on large scale, and it doesn't work, or they have an obstacle come up, or it doesn't sustain itself, and they don't have, I think, the experience maybe on that scale or that particular battle. And then, it just drops our quality and our image every time that this keeps happening. Or you got, oh man, don't be sad.
Dude, I had it.
I saw it.
I had it. What's going on?
Oh, I don't know, but then I also see this testing shenanigans, and like I feel like if you think about that too, like I don't know for you guys, like how hard it is, as far as testing multiple times. Like you're not just testing the flower now, you're testing the hash, you're testing the joint paper, you're testing all these things with 7 different tests or 5 different tests depending on what you're testing. And it's like, it's just, I think that's getting ridiculous too though, is I'm all for safe product, do not get me wrong, and I love the research and development that everybody has come a long way. But back in the day when it was parts per millionth and you had to pay for testing, and you chose to do it as a business, like of being conscious of your consumers or for marketing.
There you go.
Thank you. And now it's like the labs are making all this money. You don't know if there's cross-contamination at the labs or how they're avoiding this. They're failing tests left and right. It is so hard for anybody in Colorado to pass their testing. Like with heavy metals, if you're growing soil, people have no idea how much arsenic, how much all these products, the compounds together.
You better hit that. I'm telling you, because that joint is gonna go out faster than you could think. For some reason, right. It's amateur hour on my end.
No, this is nice. You got it flowing now. I feel it.
Somewhat.
This is a beautiful joint, Tyler.
It's trash.
No, it's not. This
is
beautiful.
Hella trash. That's the thing, people. When you know that you've done something wrong, admit to it. That's me. I rolled a trash joint, but I had, like, to be fair, like, you can only do so much, and
there was a lot of pressure on you.
I got pros at work that roll joints, and they
look at this cloud going into you. This is a good joint.
We're working that. You can probably taste the weed a little bit better.
Was
What
he
flower are
so?
you guys smoking tonight?
Well, we know how that went.
Yeah, well, so we don't know really what flavor this weed is, but it's like something abbreviated into like
Every time people ask me what strain I'm smoking, I can never tell because
I
people
have no idea. It's sticky though for sure. It's got purple hue kind of to it, and it's like
I wonder if I could show it. There's a couple nugs.
turkey bound gang,
Yeah, I got the.
turkey bag gang,
I gotta shrink it down a
duffel
little
bag boys.
bit. Okay, let me try to. And of course, I grabbed the worst.
You can't even see that.
I know. Can you see it at all?
No.
No.
Let me
All right,
let me tell
all
the
right.
people. Let me tell the people. Let me get this bag and tell people what's going
Yeah.
on with
This is what I don't know. When people give you.
this. Let me tell you something, people. I don't claim to be professional very much.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, this weed right here, it reminds me of something kind of grapey a little bit, like
It does have that.
maybe it's hella frosty. It almost reminds me of like some type of fruity pebble, some type of like Sunday driver vibe, some type of like grape 8 type deal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
No, that's a really good way to describe that. It really is.
I could be completely in the wrong, but it reminds me of like weed we had back in the day, like grape skunk or like
Grape Stomper.
something like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a really good description. It almost tastes like wine. You know how like cabs or Merlots have these weird like little aftertastes?
Turkey bag gang.
Yeah. You gotta see, thank you. Very classy.
Yeah, no, it's
This
good.
is why I can't
it's
buy weed.
sticky weed.
Mm.
See that joint, something's wrong with it. I don't know.
I think
It's me personally.
thank you. No. Well,
Anyway,
yeah.
she's gonna be back to smoking blunts because I couldn't get her joint to work right.
You wanna hit my
It's like
friend?
trash.
Whatever.
Anyway, yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting. You know, I'm just I'm interested to kind of see what happens with the cannabis market and just really like major big dogs and stuff like that are not coming out here. They kind of I feel like everybody kind of knows it's just like a waste, you know.
It's true.
It's just a waste for what you have to put up with. Like it's just a waste, and like you have no guarantee that the consumer is gonna spend that money on. I mean, just for instance, right now, I mean, you can go. Let's just play this little game because we can.
Yes.
Let's just say because everybody like, because I'm a cookie boy and I love, I just love Burner, period, and like everybody can like clown on me or whatever they want, but I just think he set up a really cool situation, especially in a time where there was no branded weed.
Yes.
There was no branded weed.
Nope.
You know, so
Girl Scout was the first that time, just like you're saying, but when that cut was actually like not even floating about, but everybody wanted it and was willing to pay like 50 grand, 100 grand for that cut.
so that's the thing too. So I was watching this, like Burner had done an interview on like this podcast with Gilly the Kid. He's like this rapper from Philadelphia or whatever.
Ooh.
But it was cool because he talked about when they, you know, back in the day, you know, Burner had worked at the, you know, the collective, and he started out like, literally, it's cool because there's a documentary that kind of shows this, but like he was coming in buying like a half gram of flour.
No.
Yeah, not spending very much money, you know, worked his way to like bud tending to managing to the whole thing.
Wow.
But he had really good connections, and then he knew Jigga And Jigga, I guess, had come out with like the cherry Kush and the cherry pie, and then they had the 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 cookies, but they didn't have a name for it. And I guess like they rolled up a Swisher Sweet,
That's what's
and
up.
rolled up a Swisher Sweet, and then he let it set on the dash of his car, and like to kind of like toast up,
Oh yeah, dry back up.
dry up a little
Yeah.
bit, and then like when he hit it, he was like, it tastes like them cookies.
No way.
So then that's how they got the name Cookies, and then so they just kind of really ran with it. But like having
That's cool.
that, like he knew to like put it on a T-shirt and then get the branding out there. And then
Real quick,
yeah,
is everybody that says that people don't know good weed that smoke blunts. I just want everybody to
yeah. I
know
mean that
he
was a
knew
long
that
time
flavor.
ago.
He
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
that flavor through
I
that
mean
blunt wrap.
it was something for sure. You know what I mean? But like at the end of the day, now I see you're back on the blunt because it actually lit. Yeah, because it
No,
actually
I'm
lit.
coming back to that bad
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, sure. I need to put the torch on it. Is really what I need to do. I should have done that.
We can torch it.
Anyway, so like you have respect, uh, for like that, but it was really interesting to see that because, like I was saying, this dude came in to the clinic, and he told me because I was a big fan of Wiz Khalifa.
Oh yeah.
So I had seen a bunch of stuff that he was posting because he had gone to San Francisco and met up with this guy in a collective, and then they were smoking like this weed that I had never even heard of, right? And so, and not a lot of people had. And this kid had come in and said, "Hey, you need to follow this guy. His name's Pie Guy, 420." And so I started following him, and his name was Kenny Powers. Um, and he was like part of the Cookie fam,
Ooh.
and so it's a huge connection of like people. But then I was able to kind of see this weed that I wasn't able to like. I was exposed to it but wasn't exposed to it because I couldn't like physically see it. It was only in one part of, it was like, Northern California, in San Francisco was like where this weed was, and like it wasn't anywhere else. And so it was just, it was dope. So then you have, when the Cookies is like coming out and popping, and like they're doing their thing, they're making like t-shirts and hoodies. People really wanted to ride that wave. So then you saw a lot more people coming out and saying, "Hey, we have Girl Scout cookies, or we have this, or whatever." And it was cool to see those people that, like, the cannabis people were really smart because they could trick a lot of people. You know what I mean? So, and because like
Dirty
cannabis
hustlers.
cannabis consumers and other consumers for other things are naive. So when you can come out and say, "Oh yeah, we have Girl Scout cookies or whatever," people are gonna buy it. And then if you're a notable seed company that's doing it, people are probably gonna take your word on it, right? It's not only until these people that were from the streets, more or less, came in and said, they came to these cannabis cups and would shut these people down for right then and there and say, "No, you don't got these packs." They pull out the packs and say, "Your pack is not this. It
Yeah.
is not. We are not smoking on the same thing." So it was cool to
I
see
love
that. It was really nice, and that's when it allowed like the wave, you know what I mean, of like the new genetic profiles to like really come out. Like it just changed the flavor profiles. Before we were smoking Boof,
Yeah.
Tange,
3 different straight sour diesel. Like honestly, back then it wasn't
OG.
cool. Like OG and
You know.
flow. It's funny, but Colorado was
Bullcrap.
like so saturated with like
Bull crap.
yeah, you're
Bull
right.
crap.
And
Still is.
Tangy, like you said,
Nothing
yeah.
changed out here. Nothing changed.
It's
Facts.
just funny though because all those strains are coming. But you are so right though about Girl Scout was when that time that really happened, and that's
It was
even
crazy.
medical dispensaries. Like that's the strain that everybody wanted. Like and you couldn't get, and it was like small drops, any little small batch.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was
So cool.
it was nuts, and they when all that was going on, there was like there was a group of them. It was Sherbinski, Jigga,
Yeah.
Kenny Powers, and like this dude named Flux Capacitor, and obviously Burn. But like they were kind of really doing all the things behind the scenes, and they were really not. To be honest with you, it really wasn't a lot because none of them like Jigga didn't have a commercial grow setup. He maybe had like a couple lights,
Yeah.
and then Sherbinski only had, I think he had like under 40 lights.
No.
Yeah. And so like Kenny Powers may have had his little setup going that, was more advanced than all of them, but he wasn't doing anything, putting it out production wise to any of these people. But Connected then, came, it was like pre-connected, they came and approached those guys and said, hey, we're gonna buy, like we want to set up a contract with you guys and get the genetics.
Wow.
So they put the genetics out, so anything that was coming out that was like sherb or like cookies or when the gelato started to come out, like they were the ones put it like mass producing all that stuff, and really growing it out, which was cool. But then so, and then that really kind of had to make the Cookie Fam really rethink, and then start to figure out where they can really make their money, right?
Yeah.
That allowed Sherbinski to start his own brand. Then like Jigga and Kenny Powers kind of still stayed tight with Burner and like really worked like things out, and like Jigga's like a co-founder, and like so it's cool to see
It's very cool.
how it worked. And
I think it's really impressive. Like no matter people's, it's hard because I think that if people really saw how much patience like it takes to even if you had all the money, like say I came to you, it's like licensing and going through all these processes though, and building a brand from like the beginning, and like all like creating something bigger at the time, like you said, to really bring a different and price point. I remember like those packs were going for so much, like, and
nuts.
yeah, and it's like when you look at the value, people bash on it because they think that those people, I think, sometimes have taken away the value of this like culture of something else. But I think it's funny because they're very that they have that credibility of like creating something and keeping it important and making it where people do have that backpack and they do have that tray everywhere, and it does show what kind of smoker that person is. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%, 100%. Is the quality of the weed now really, really fire and the whole thing? Dude, I don't know, dude. I don't really know. Like, to be honest with you, like, is what Burner smoking really good? Probably.
probably, yeah.
Like wherever he's like, so like, yeah, I'm sure he's having a pheno hunt and do a lot of things, but like at the end of the day, he's probably smoking good. And
I spent 420 on an ounce of their weed. Not even like, I don't know. It was before the pandemic, but like at Cookies in Denver. And I'll be honest, it's like there was 14ers on the shelf and a lot of other companies I really like, 710, Green Dot, like all these great companies. But I thought it was like a 7. And I'm just being honest. It's like it was better than a lot of the things that I saw, but it wasn't like I wasn't like I'm gonna go spend 420 here every day.
right. No. So I'm looking at the Cookies Melrose menu, right?
Mm-hmm.
So big company in California right now, Alien Labs. They've always been big, man.
They
But pre-tax, you're spending $45 an eighth on indoor flower, right?
Yeah.
That's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
Right? I mean, when you out the door, what, 50, 55 or
60.
something like that, somewhere's around there, right? 55, 60, somewhere's in there, right?
Mm.
I'm trying to look for a couple things, Backpack Boys, another big brand in California, $54 for an eighth of they have many different strains on the mini lemon cherry gelato staple strain. So you're looking at what, 65 bucks after tax out somewhere's in that vicinity, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, are people okay with paying for weed, like, in Colorado, like that?
I mean, I smoke the backwood, and I feel like it would take 1/8 to roll a proper backwood.
100%.
And so,
You're
like, is it worth
you're
$66 for me to roll this
you're
backwood?
QC you're
It has
QC
to be worth it.
you're QCing the whole pack.
Yeah, it's like I got the blunt wrap
That's
in
the only way
there. I
to do
got
it.
$75 is what I'm gonna inhale right now.
There you go.
It better fucking taste good.
There you go. That's it. That's it, man. You heard it first right here. That's the only way you need to be living. 3.5 in your joint or your backwoods. And I tried to fit 3.5 in there.
This one was
That
very
sucked.
Nice. This was very
It's
nice.
trash. I'm sorry, people. Like, I just like,
It was nice.
I just
That's-
that's the thing, is like, you only get better, man. You only get better.
Yes.
And you just practice. You practice and you practice and, like, you practice. God, if I rolled up a $75 eighth of freaking it burnt like that, I'd be pissed.
That's what I mean, though. Is like you can put like I think the package and all these things should be complementary to the product, right? It shouldn't be selling your product, really. It's like it should be nice. It should be nice because you have nice weed inside of it if you're charging these prices. But like I feel like you say, these are a couple of joints. If you break them down eighths, or I don't know, like how normal people smoke, not the occasional something, but I feel like an eighth could last a person probably a long time if they never smoke. But people that actually smoke, I'm like, do people smoke like an eighth a week? I feel like that's pretty average. And I don't know. Like, I feel like, could they afford $100 a week, $400 a month? Like, I don't know, for weed, like to smoke 4 joints or smoke 4, or I guess it would be like more. I don't know.
I mean, my man, somebody in there just said freaking cookies is overpriced in Arizona, so is Connected / Alien Labs. That sucks. That sucks to hear that.
Is sad.
I mean, because you.
It's not surprising.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, is like, I know that Alien Labs put up a huge QC process for their flower, in California at least, right? So I don't know what the QC process is like in Arizona, but their QC process is extensive, and I mean, I would only hope that they would have decent flower.
I tried to get a license in Arizona actually in 2013 and went and with my parents. My parents flew with me. We went and got an attorney there. It's like ridiculous, but I was like a young lassie then. And they like just to talk about like a MIP potentially and like the process of just the beginning steps. And they said that they were only giving 135 licenses at the time, and they said that they were already like basically picked, and like there is a lot of politics and a lot of shenanigans that goes into that, but like you figure a lot of these places they're paying like minimum wage. It's like, I hate to say that, but the industry
We're
doesn't
paying minimum wage.
exactly, like it's not some good paying job right now. And so like the person, the passion that a lot of these people used to chase 10 years ago is no longer there, because like everybody's been burnt, screwed over, like went to a new job, like divorced in some way, and some work had some bad collaboration. It's like everybody's feeling this like heaviness, I feel like, now, versus like 10 years ago, it was just such a different space. Nobody had really been, I think, like hurt yet. And I think it's been a tough road. Like everybody's like, acts like we're all balling out all the time forever. And I think that's great because we're all like hustling and trying to do our things and move forward, and it's great. But it's like at the same time, I feel like it's made it where everybody has to be humbled together during like these rocky times. And like I even think like going against the state in some ways, like I'm not saying like coming in hot, but like combating some of these things like parts per billion, not just accepting like tax rates and limitations on your freaking plant library or strain library at your house, or pheno hunts, or like there's nothing that's protected here. And like people are paying all this money. I understand both sides. Like these dispensary owners are paying a lot of money to play in the game, and the black market does compete with them, and it does, they don't have the same overhead. And like I think it's weird, but I think you gotta have both sides, but I think that it's not good to It's just that I don't know. It's like seems like such an unpleasant place or space compared to like what it used to be. It used to be so happy to everybody.
It was fun back in the day, but now, now, like you're saying, I mean, and also we're older.
Yeah, we're getting old.
Um, but yeah, we just need to. We've always been so far behind with genetics and like just having quality. Like the only thing people care about is having hash, and like I get it, and I love it. Like, but even our hash is mids, and there's only like some good hash, right?
That's
There's
true.
not even like people say, oh, our hash game is way more put together than wherever California, this, that, the other. Well, it may be, but like what? We're still running crap. So like, what's the point? We're just running boof.
That's the thing is like if you're running all this stuff that's failing in any way or just like not the
It's all
quality.
subpar.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing to stand out about,
That's sad.
you
Like,
know.
but I also think that do you think that if everybody just keeps saturating it with all this like mids, then in a couple years, like or something, like do you think it'll give like a revamp? Like some of these guys that haven't had the opportunity to like stand out or shine, like maybe small batch comes back and is like really really pushed and like maybe that higher price point like we're talking about like maybe the demand for quality will be there again.
You better come out with the most crazy branding, and because that's the whole
Sexy.
thing. It is both. It is not. It's not. You have to have both.
Yeah, you have to make it worth.
If like that's the reason we don't know anything about half these companies out here is because they don't put no money into branding.
It's true. Or they all do the same, like very similar.
None of it is different.
Yeah,
Like there are
that's good.
so Alien Labs or whatever um, put a ton of money because they are owned by Connected and their branding. It helps a lot. Cookies branding helps a lot. 710 Labs branding helps a lot. The companies right now that are doing things like there's a company in California called the Tenko, and they're putting out the blue sushi and the yellow sushi and the pink sushi and doing all this. They're partnered up with like this female rapper, and they're like doing this whole thing, but their branding is off the charts. It's
Really?
so crazy, and it's like yeah, they do have fire product, and like people know that it's 10 out of 10, like Tenko,
Ooh.
but like the branding was popping. The brand, that's really the thing. There's another company called Super Dope, and their branding is off the charts.
And it's super dope.
It's so dope.
That's
It's so
awesome.
dope, and like they have just their branding is just unreal, and like I know the product's good because I see it online, and I'm like, dang, like it's just something that like I want to consume because it looks so good.
That's how I personally love marketing, like in all of the ways, like the consuming and buying stuff and appreciating it, or like trying to create things for my own. Like I love it, but I think that you have to be a person that like. I hear people that are like, I don't care what it comes in, and it's weird because I almost feel like you should have both options.
Here, let me see that joint now.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna spark it with this torch.
Oh yes. Okay. Well, you can take this.
We
for
don't
some
know what
time.
Jay's smoking because it's we don't know. It's like it's abbreviated.
Oh, it's abbreviated. I tried to ask. So it's abbreviated. Um, but I think that I don't know. I don't know. I think that bougie packaging is sexy to me. I will pay extra, but it's weird because you don't want to tell consumers. Like I noticed if 710 tells you that you pay $10 for the jar, this is weird. But I've just heard them say that. Like a bud tender will be like, it's $10 extra, and you're like, I don't care. Like you're like, I want the fucking jar. I want the weed in the jar. Like yes, what's the price? And but I think some people get intimidated if you like put a price like that or separate it right in front of them when they're like, okay, you could have this box for $25 extra, is it worth it to you? But it's not like the company trying to rip you off. It's like
the packaging, man. I'm telling you, uh, the the packaging that some of this new weed is coming in is just awesome.
I want to make some cool shit like that.
But it's Mylar.
Mylar.
So that's the thing
What,
is like
what's with the Mylar
I,
phase?
I love Mylar.
You love it. Tell me why.
So let me tell you something.
Yes.
So it's crazy because when I worked at the clinic, in I think I think we started doing pre-packs in like 2013 or something like that. It was around that time we started doing pre-packs. So I remember us getting Mylar packaging and nitrogen sealing these bags of weed and then like sending them out in 2013. So I remember us doing Mylar back then.
Wow.
And like the clinic was ahead of the curve on that. They were just
Yeah.
not. They were doing Mylar that was clear in the front.
I remember that.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Clear in the front, and then like
Had their little
thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then they went to like you couldn't see the weed, you know,
laws.
because the laws and
Yeah.
the whole thing. So
Okay.
back then, you know, we were already doing Mylar. I
That's true.
I wasn't a fan then on it, but then when really Connected was the first company to when put out Connected was like putting out packs of or like eighths and whatever of cookies and sherbet and gelato, and they were putting them in just black bags. And so then like people like Doja Pack were getting this stuff from Connected and then like putting their branding on these just plain bags. So then what they decided to do was just make these bags that had like these C's on them for the cookies.
Oh, I see.
So they made these branded like C bags for the cookie stuff. So that was really cool, and that was the first time anybody had ever done branded bags like that. You know, to anybody's like knowledge of any of that, and people were like reselling the bags on eBay, like used bags. You know what I mean? So that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
To see that phase, but the when runts really got popular, there's this dude in California called the Sticker Farmer, and he just like was doing everyone's Mylar bags.
Oh, he was
Like,
the guy.
He's the guy.
I feel like I did see a lot. Like they're getting more popular at the trade shows lately, where people are like selling the. I don't know, where you can like put your brand on it, just like you can customize it. It is cool.
Yeah.
It's probably the most practical because when you carry glass, like I love the glass things that you like leave at your house, and honestly, I rarely use because I have smoking or bring into whatever, but it doesn't fit in the jars or whatever. But I think that they break. You know, like I see so many people that we break our glass, like your jars, like getting out of your car. Or whatever you're.
Nobody wants to clink around with a million jars in their backpack.
Yeah, and it's kind of heavy. Like it's not practical for a lot of like activities.
No, and that's the thing too is like if you're somebody said there's tons of fake packs in the black market. So the thing is, on that, the Mylar bags were getting copied so bad from China that people had to start to be innovative with doing like printing inside the bag and doing like holographic like imagery inside the Mylar bag. So it's like they're trying to make it harder or doing like the little barcodes on like the bags or like, you know, like stuff where you not barcodes but like wherever you scan where you scan those things.
Oh, the QR codes?
The QR codes.
Yeah, you're right. Those are so popular.
So like people are trying to do more and more to like eliminate the like fake
side
fake
of it.
product, but there's always going to be fake product because like people know that they can make a ton of money. And like how you were saying, when you can get a bag and then a bunch of Mylars that are rubber banded together, and then it's way easier to maneuver with that, and then you can like as you go
Yeah.
weigh out people's stuff.
Or just
You
a
know what
little
I'm
bit
saying?
on, yeah.
And
Like,
then be like, boom, wham, bam, thank you, man. But you
Yeah.
can't even like do. That's the thing is like it just sucks because like flour out here just it becomes just dust.
that's the thing about that bag. Is like
Yeah.
you can only keep it in there for like, I'm saying after it's cured or whatever. You can only like, that's my ticket, you know, for like 5-6 days.
That's a to-go bag.
Yeah, because you never know what you're gonna have
You never
to
know.
smoke. It's like getting stranded or something.
You know.
But yeah, they can't like, I have all these other cool goodies that like people will give you, you know, to like store like at the perfect humidity or perfect control or lock or zip or all these cool things, but I never use them because I'm like, I smoke too much to like, I don't hold on to weed. I've tried my whole life. It doesn't work out. Like,
You're burning through it.
yeah, I just always
She said, I'm
smoke 'em
smoking
if you
it
got
now,
'em.
and that's it. There is no reserve
There's no reserve.
Percy badges.
I've tried.
She goes, I'm smoking it now. It needs to get smoked.
It just needs you.
I understand that.
Well, should we do you have any other cool? This was like a really good.
Yeah, I mean, we do our thing. We're gonna be working on trying to get people on here. I know that we say that,
We say that.
but no, we're gonna get some folks in here.
We've got like some big female group coming up. I think we're gonna do it in around 420-ish. We got the Adam Dunn show on 420, so but I think we're gonna try to have some ladies in the industry come in, hang out with OG Tyler. We're gonna have them. We're gonna do this. We're gonna talk to some other boss ladies. I've been trying to get this other girl on just randomly. It's like, you know, we met on Instagram, so I don't know if that like, it's not been official yet, but we followed each other for a while now, and she makes like soaps and like infused goodies that you can just, you know, feel good about.
Nice.
Put them all over everywhere, and she seems like such a nice woman, and like, I think we need to have her on.
Cool.
But we're gonna start talking about grow stuff as well. So we're gonna start like putting together little PowerPoints, and like, it's not gonna be crazy. It's not gonna be boring either.
Talking about what nutrients J-Lo likes.
Yeah, nutrients, mediums, like pot sizes. Some of these like things, I don't know. And
All
perpetual harvest, like just for reals, you know.
We'll come with some questions.
We gotta do it. Okay. Well, we really appreciate you guys in the chat. Seriously, for watching.
In the chat.
You guys were so nice. I know it's hard probably. It's hard to support the squad sometimes.
It's hard out here.
But I feel like I really appreciate you guys. OG Tyler.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, just hang in there.
I wish my joint rolling skills were better.
We're gonna grow together.
Bless up. Bless fam. I hope you have a good night, everybody in the chats.
Yes. So much love. See you next Sunday, 7:10 ish.